I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Yuta Saros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step in hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're getting educated about the show, you click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, it doesn't matter. You can outfit your entire person, your entire home with Renegades of Puck merchandise. We'd appreciate if you would go ahead and do so. As a matter of fact, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this hockey operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Please give us a support on social media by going to either X or Threads or Facebook or Instagram or even perhaps TikTok if we ever go back to visiting that website again. And check us out right there on social media. You can also find us on YouTube. Thank you so much, Stick Taps. Love and respect to all of our recent subscribers over the holiday seasons. We sure are appreciative of each and every one of you. We could always use more, so please, one Renegade at a time, jump on in the trenches. We got plenty of room for you. That's on YouTube. Just search Renegades of Puck and give us a subscription today. You can also find the audio podcast on numerous platforms. Search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today. And thanks to the Full Press NHL Network and the Full Press Predators podcast, from local to global in the year 2023, and we're closing out strong, over 7.3 million downloads and replays in the year 2023. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you out there for checking out the show. We sure are appreciative of each and every one of those sets of ears and sets of eyes that check out the show. Venmo, that's how you can support the show financially, by making donations. Scan the QR code currently on your screen, or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo today, and you'll find the show. Thanks to generous Renegades just like you watching and listening right now, we've been able to make significant upgrades. As a matter of fact, we've made more upgrades in the last couple of days here in the bunker. You can see we've cleaned some things up a little bit, and we've made some more technological upgrades, and we're going to continue making those upgrades as long as you continue supporting the show. So again, scan the QR code that's currently on your screen, or just search Renegades Puck in Venmo today. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this hockey operation. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 845. And at this moment in hockey history, well, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division, but with 2 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the third period, the Arizona Coyotes are leading the Anaheim Ducks 2-0, and that may put the Arizona Coyotes over the Nashville Predators for fourth place. So let's update that momentarily. Let's start with this. Let's say the Nashville Predators have skated in 36 games on the season. They have a record of 19-6-1. They have 39 points. That has them 8 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche. Their next game will take place on the road. We do know that for a fact. Second night of back-to-backs will take place in Washington. 8-7-1 is their overall record on the road. 113 goals is the amount they've scored on the season. 114 goals is the amount they've given up on the season. That means they have a goal differential of -1, down to 242 to go here in the third period. After the Preds wrap up this next game in Washington, this back-to-back on the road, they'll be back home to start the 2024 portion of the calendar. Tuesday versus the Chicago Blackhawks, and then Thursday versus the Calgary Flames. Then on the 6th, the Predators will have their first road game of 2024. It will take place in Dallas. That's going to be a tough matchup against the Stars. On the 9th, the Nashville Predators will face off on home ice against the Anaheim Ducks, the same team that's losing currently to the Arizona Coyotes with 2:26 to go in the third period, 2-0. Yes, I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm tracking it. I'm doing a good job right here in the bunker. And then on the 12th of January, the Preds will be back in Dallas again. So the Preds are in Dallas twice in 6 days in the beginnings of the year 2024. Now, as we continue tracking this Arizona Coyotes game, update standing in the Central Division momentarily. Instantaneous updates here on the show. Let's talk about the Nashville Predators. Next game is going to take place against the Washington Capitals. This is the second of two regular season meetings between these two teams. 12-16 was the last time they played. It was the Preds scoring a 3-1 victory over the Washington Capitals. UC Saros went 21 out of 22 and picked up the victory with Sissons, Trennan, and Tomasino, each with goals in the game. Lindgren got the start and took the loss for the Caps, 20 out of 23. Oshie scored the only goal for the Washington Capitals in that game. Quick injury update before we move on to the Washington Capitals side of the ledger. Barry is listed as day-to-day on the defensive side of things. Lankinen listed as day-to-day with an illness. Everybody else on the Nashville Predators at this moment in time healthy. The Washington Capitals have a record of 17-11-5 on the season. They have 39 points. That's good for 6th overall in the Metropolitan Division on home ice, which is where this game will be taking place. 9-4-3. That's a really strong record. This goal differential, though, is no good. 79 goals for on the season, 96 goals against on the season. That's a goal differential of -17. That is a very, very bad number. Their most recent action, 5 games back, is what we'll go. We'll go to December the 20th, and we'll start with a 3-2 overtime win versus the New York Islanders, followed up the next night on the 21st, 3-2 overtime win at the Columbus Blue Jackets on the 23rd of December, 2-1 shootout loss versus Tampa Bay, and then the Christmas break came and went, and on the 27th, they resumed action with a 5-1 loss at the New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden. Their most recent game taking place on the 29th of December. Of course, that was a 5-1 loss at the New York Islanders, and it was Kemper getting the start, taking the loss, 24 out of 29, but Lindgren came in relief and went 3 out of 3 in that game. Now, when it comes to the matchup in the rankings between these two teams, the Nashville Predators goals for 3.11 per game, 18th best in the NHL, is the leading metric of the two teams in this category. The Washington Capitals only averaging 2.30 goals per game. That's 31st overall in the National Hockey League. The Nashville Predators are giving up 3.17 per game. That is 17th overall in the NHL, while the Washington Capitals are giving up 2.82 goals per game. That is 10th best in the National Hockey League. In the shots for category, the Preds generating 30.2 shots per game on net. That is 20th overall in the league. The Washington Capitals only generating 28.1 shots on goal per game. That is 28th in the league. Shots against category, Preds 30.6 per game, 16th best. Shots against for Washington, 30.8 is 19th. When it comes to the special teams matchup, Preds power play is converting at 20.3%. That's 17th overall in the league, or 26 out of 128 opportunities on the season. The power play for the Washington Capitals is really bad, 11.8%, and that's tough with Alex Ovechkin out there on the power play. That's tough to see them at 30th overall in the NHL, only 11 conversions on 93 opportunities on the season. The penalty kill for the Nashville Predators, 76.3%, is 25th overall in the National Hockey League. 28 power play goals against is a very, very high number. Penalty kill for the Washington Capitals, their kill rate, 82.7%, is 10th best in the National Hockey League. They've only given up 18 power play goals against on the season. With just 24 seconds to go, 18 seconds to go now in the Arizona Coyotes-Anaheim Ducks game, I think it's safe to say the Arizona Coyotes are going to come away with the victory, leading 2-0 right now. That means the Arizona Coyotes, with the most updated and instant standings, are going to move in the 4th place in the Central Division. So your new updated Central Division standings are going to be as follows. Colorado Avalanche are in 1st place with a record of 22-11-3. They have 47 points. They are 1 point ahead of the 2nd place Dallas Stars, who have a record of 21-9-4 at 46 points. Then you'll find the Winnipeg Jets with 20 wins on the season, 9 losses, 4 overtime losses for 44 points. Then the Arizona Coyotes jump over the Nashville Predators for 4th place. They have 40 points now on the season with their now final victory against the Anaheim Ducks. And the Predators are in 5th place with 44 points. And then you will find the St. Louis Blues at 37, the Minnesota Wild at 36, the Chicago Blackhawks in 8th and last place in the Central Division. But they've moved up a couple points in the standings since we've last talked about them. They're up to 24 points. No, it's not impressive, but they sat on 19 for so long. It seems somewhat remarkable to see that they picked up 5 points in the standings. So the Nashville Predators going into the game in Washington will find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division. That is your instant reaction updated standings to the Central Division after the Arizona Coyotes just finished off their victory versus the Anaheim Ducks. Now, every team in the NHL has high-skilled individual players. We always talk about the top 5 individual scores, and then we always close out the preview by talking about the expected goaltender matchup. Let's talk about the Washington Capitals statistics. Strome is the leading scorer on the Caps, 13 goals and 7 assists for 20 points. Ovechkin, 6 and 14 for 20. Carlson, 1 goal and 18 assists for 19 total points. Wilson at 10 and 8 for 18. And then Protas, 3 and 14 for 17. Now, Alex Ovechkin typically has very good games against the Nashville Predators, and he certainly was trying to break his big-time scoring drought against the Predators at Bridgestone Arena since that game, he has broken through and has started moving in the right direction. So I'm very much looking forward to the potential matchup that we'll talk about here in the goaltending matchup here in a second. But let's talk about the Nashville Predators statistics first. Philip Forsberg leads the team in all three of the major categories: goals, assists, and points. 18 goals, 23 assists, 41 points on the season. O'Reilly's at 14-15 for 29. Yossi's at 7-21 for 28. Nyquist, 8 and 18 assists for 26 total points. And Colton's 11 goals and 9 assists for 20 total points. Now, very excited about this potential goaltending matchup as far as for the Nashville Predators, with UC Saros taking the loss versus Detroit in overtime. His record is now 15-13-1, a 901 save percentage, 3.02 goals against average, 1 shutout. First time Andrew Burnett has put UC Saros out there in the first night of back-to-backs, with Lankinen being out with illness right now. Didn't know how the rotation was going to go, but Saros gets the first start, takes loss. It means Yaroslav Askarov is going to get the start against Washington Capitals unless Lankinen suddenly makes a quick return. 0-0-0 is the record for Askarov, but he's 6 out of 6 in relief the other night, 1640 total time on ice. Not his first ever time in the NHL, but he made 6 saves the other night, so he does have some experience in this recent call-up, and expecting that to come against Lindgren because Kemper got the start. Lindgren did come in relief and go 3 for 3. So Lindgren 7-3-3 on the season, a 9.28 save percentage, 2.27 goals against average. Took the loss against the Nashville Predators, giving up 3 goals on December the 16th, going 20 out of 23. Updated numbers on Kemper after that performance against the Islanders: 8-8-2 and 8.92 save percentage, 3.16 goals against average. Alex Ovechkin versus Askarov. I'm very much looking forward to this insanity that could happen. What a matchup this could possibly be between these two. Very excited about this game. Nashville Predators closing out this back-to-back in Washington, closing out the regular season series against the Caps, looking to go for the regular season series sweep against the Washington Capitals. And to be honest with you, when you go down the line, you look at how the Preds performed against the Caps, you look at all the different metrics, the matchups, and you look at how the Predators are performing overall. The Predators should come away with these 2 points, which would allow them to come away with 3 out of 4 points for the weekend back-to-back. That's going to do it for your preview. We've got to get to the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We have to talk about the Nashville Predators and their first trip to Detroit for this season. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December 29th of the year 2023, when the Nashville Predators were in Detroit to face off against Red Wings for the first of 2 regular season meetings. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist; Parsonen, Novak, and Glass; Trennan, Sissons, and Evangelista; Smith, McCarron, and Tomasino; Sherwood healthy scratch for this game. McDonough and Yossi are your first defensive pairing. Luzon and Carrier, Fabro, and Shen. Barry out, but day-to-day, not a healthy scratch. UC Saros in net. Kevin Lankinen also still a scratch out day-to-day. Saros gets the start net with Askarov backing him up. We are 45 seconds into the first period, and it's Lyon coming up with a save on Luzon, the first shot on goal of the game. At 1:56 of the first period, it's Lyon coming up with another save, this time on Glass. At 2:30 of the first period, it's Raymond off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Kopp's partial breakaway, got behind the D and had a great scoring chance after a sloppy pinch. Did I mention sloppy pinch? Well, off the transition, poor neutral zone play leads to another scoring opportunity for the Detroit Red Wings, except this time Larkin finishes off his 13th goal of the season, gets Detroit on the board 1-0 in head of the Nashville Predators, and easily one of the sloppiest 90 seconds worth of power play time you will see this entire season. Predators unable to convert with the final 31 seconds of their power play. 4:35 now into the first period. It's Lyon coming up with a save on Trennan's backhand at 5:43 of the first. It's Lyon coming up with a save on Luke Shen at the 8:30 mark of the first period. Lyon comes up with a save on Sisson's backhand opportunity at the 10:29 mark of the first period. It's Saros coming up with a save on Petrie's heavy shot at 10:43 of the first period. It's Philip Forsberg breaking through for the Nashville Predators. His 17th goal of the season comes after Nyquist does all of the hard work. You talk about bringing the no half step and jam. chips the puck forward, wins the race to the end wall, goes behind the net, makes a great pass out to the slot area where Philip Forsberg cleans up with a sweet snipe. 17th of the season makes the score 1-1. Nashville is on the board. At 11:37 of the first period, it's Lyon coming up with a save on McCarron with Carrier crashing the net hard, setting the screen. 12:52 of the first, it's Lyon coming up with a save on O'Reilly from close range. A little bit of a trickler, not much on it, but still a pretty good scoring chance by the Predators right here at close range. 14:10 of the first period. You see Saros coming up with a save on Sprong, plus the follow-up. Some good jam rights there by the Red Wings. 14:26, we see Tomasino off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking on Sprong. Not only did Sprong have 2 good scoring opportunities in a row, but then earns the power play for his team. You see Saros would come up with a save on Larkin, and then would come up with the absolute save of the game, and one of the candidates for save of the season, as he would have to dive all the way across Superman style. Chris Mason's quote on the broadcast: dive across the crease Superman style to the weak side and come up with the big time save on Larkin before the end of the power play. Saros would stop Larkin one more time. Preds would survive this penalty kill. 16:48 of the first period. Saros coming up with a save on Fabry at 19:25. The first period. Saros coming up with a save on Kopp at 19:38 of the first period. It's Wallman picking up his 7th goal of the season, putting Detroit up 2-1. It was Rasmussen's cross slot pass to a crashing Wallman, who was all alone, had the time to pick his spot, and did he ever. What a snipe by the defenseman, crashing in hard from out there the blue line. Goals in the last minute of the period, always momentum swinging moments. Detroit now leads 2-1. After the end of the first period, it seemed like the Preds had such an overwhelming shot advantage for the first 10 minutes, but it ends up 15-12 in favor of Nashville. 105 into the second period, it's Lyon coming with a save on Glasses, redirect. 202, Saros, a save on Kopp. 229, Lyon a save on Smith, plus the follow-up by McCarron, plus the rebound by Smith. 3 scoring opportunities by the Nashville Predators right here at the 229 mark of the second period. 3:10 the second period, it's Lyon coming with a save on Forsberg as he drove hard to the net at 6:29. Saros comes up with a save on Fabry at 6:40. Saros, another save, this time on Rasmussen at 7:28 of the second period. Lyon coming up with a save on McCarron. We go all the way to the 11:11 mark as things just kind of evened out. A lot of play between the face-off circles, and Dante Fabro at 11:11 is off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. That's where we see Nyquist. Yes, Nyquist coming up with his 7th goal of the season, shorthanded off of the rush. The patience on the finish as he cut across the top of the goal mouth, outweighted the goaltender line, and then put the puck into the net, puts the Predators up to 2 goals in this game, ties the game at 2 apiece. Saros would come up with a save on Fabry on the remainder of the power play, so the Nashville Predators get a shorthanded goal. Nyquist having one hell of a game so far in this early stage. We're at 13:49 of the second period, and it's Philip Forsberg now breaking the 2-2 tie, making it 3-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Second goal of the game is his 18th of the season, and it's Tommy Novak this time going behind the net to the end wall and winning the battle, and then making the pass to Forsberg in the low slot for the cleanup. Much like the way Nyquist got that primary assist earlier, Novak makes an incredible play, wins the battle, brings the jam, and gives Philip Forsberg the gift pass to finish off his 18th goal of the season. 3-2 now in favor of the Nashville Predators here in the second period, just like that. 17:47 now. Time between plays here. It's quite a while here as the game starts to even out. 17:47 now into the second. Lyon coming up with a save on McDonough. 18:10. Lyon comes up with a save on Shen at 19:06. Saros comes up with the save on Kane. This leads to a large scrum when Comfer follows up the play and follows up the Kane shot after the whistle. Predators did not like that, so what we see is a number of penalties coming up right here. Comfer ends up getting the extra 2, which puts the Nashville Predators on the power play, but let's run this down quickly. Also, Comfer gets another 2 and 2 for roughing with Fabro, so each of them got matching minors, and Comfer got the extra 2. Yossi and DeBrincat was the surprise of this. Not a very lengthy scrap, but still a fight for the captain, Roman Josi, 2 of the most high-skilled players in the game, and for the captain, Roman Josi, only the 3rd fight of his entire NHL career. They're both off to the box for 5 minutes each. Lyon comes up with a save on O'Reilly on the Nashville Predators power play before the end of the second period. At the end of the second period, the Nashville Predators are out shooting Detroit 27-16, so the Preds only give up 4 shots on goal against in the second period. The power play carries over to the fresh sheet of the third period for 1 minute and 9 seconds, but unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, just simply not much is happening out there. there. At 3:09 of the third period, we see Lyon come up with a save on Luke Evangelista. At 5:15 of the third period, you see Saros comes up with a save on Kopp. At the 7:15 mark of the third period, Saros comes up with a save on Sherratt. The Nashville Predators seem to be content to play between the circles so far in this third period. But at 9:28 of the third period, that burns him as DeBrincat gets his 17th goal of the season out of the box with fresh legs ready to go. He jumps in the 2-on-1 and finishes off the Compher sauce pass into the back of the net, tying the game up at 3 apiece midway through the third period. At the 10:01 mark of the third period, is Lyon coming with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. Then at 11:12 of the third period, it's Wallman again. His second goal of the game, his 8th of the season, was a top corner snipe from the sharp angle. The Preds got to scrambling, a couple of bodies down on the ice. Wallman finds the good quiet spot. He's able to pick his corner, and does he ever. Detroit suddenly, and just like that, leads 4-3 here in the third period. But then at 12:21, just over a minute later, it's Gus Nyquist's 8th goal of the season, his second goal of the game. It was the second rebound put back. Luke Shen takes the long shot, and then Philip Forsberg gets the first tap at it, and then Nyquist is there bringing the jam, picking up the goal, his second of the game, 8th of the season. The Predators' 4th goal of the game. We're now tied at 4 apiece at 12:21 of the third period. At the 12:30 mark of the third period, CC Saros coming up with a save on Larkin. We see a scrum after the whistle. No penalties, though. 14:56 of the third period, Lyon comes up with a save on Trennan. At 16:11 of the third period, it's Lyon coming up with a save on Forsberg, and the two teams seem very content to skate out the regulation and get the point each and settle this thing in overtime. So we hit the end of regulation with the Nashville Predators out shooting the Detroit Red Wings 35-22. Now we start the 3-on-3 overtime session, and 44 seconds in, the Nashville Predators, of course, have one possession and won so many games in immediate time in overtime. This time, 44 seconds in, Lyon comes up with a save on Forsberg and his wrist shot. 53 seconds, Lyon comes up with a save on Sissons with a shaft of the stick. But then the Red Wings are able to gain possession. They're able to wear O'Reilly and the other Predators down. And at the 2:13 mark of overtime, it is Raymond with his 11th goal of the season, winning this game for the Detroit Red Wings. He walks it in from the blue line on a tired O'Reilly, picks his spot and snipes on UC Saros. Detroit comes away with the 5-4 victory on home ice in overtime in this one. The Nashville Predators do outshoot the Red Wings 37-23, but for the Nashville Predators, I highly doubt they're going to be satisfied just winning the shots on goal. They had their opportunities in this one, but again, unable to maintain the lead when they had it, and then unable to keep this game tied and unable to win it there early in overtime. So for the Nashville Predators, I think this one got away from them just a little bit. They had opportunities to beat the Red Wings in this game. Forsberg, Nyquist, O'Reilly, all having really good games, despite O'Reilly getting caught out there in the overtime with the tired legs. He was out there for almost 2.5 minutes of overtime, so he gets caught, and the Nashville Predators get caught. But early in the game, the Preds were having some difficulties getting caught pinching, giving up a shorthanded goal. It was just not really good hockey early in this game. It led to the Nashville Predators' demise. They end up sacrificing a point. Now they got to turn around quickly. Washington tomorrow night. So this was just the first of two on this back-to-back road trip. UC Saros takes another loss in this one. Preds' first overtime loss of the year. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Back next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Let's talk about some analysis now. UC Saros, 18 out of 23, 5 goals against. And you know what? Makes the save of the year and not a whole lot else. A lot of really tough opportunities, some really good snipes, some good shots by the wings, but UC Saros really had some difficulties tonight in net, giving up 5 goals against, 5 power play saves, 1 shorthanded save, 12 even strength saves, a in-game save percentage of 7.83. That does not get it done. UC Saros takes the L in overtime. 5 goals against, again, makes the save of the year, but not very much else. Nyquist picks up 2 goals and 1 assist in this game for 3 points, 2 shots on goal, shorthanded goal, the effort, the jam. Gus Nyquist is making you love him as a hockey player, whether you agreed with the signing or whether you agreed with his positioning on the first line, whatever it is you disagreed with, Nyquist is really pushing all of that off to the side. And just to see the hustle and the jam, him winning races to pucks, then winning battles on the same play, then making expert passes, world-class distribution from Nyquist on that one pass to Forsberg, but it was just the hustle, the effort, the jam. It was apparent, it was obvious, it was all over the ice. Nyquist was the best player in this hockey game for either of these teams, and I got to tell you, Nyquist, it's just incredible to see what he has been able to do. Again, I was not necessarily the biggest fan of his signing, but he has won me over completely. He's 4th on the team in scoring, and we'll talk more about that here in just a second. Let's move on and talk about Philip Forsberg, also with 2 goals in this game and an assist. His 2 goals seem to come just easy. Look, you got to be a good professional goal scorer to score in the NHL, and Philip Forsberg is certainly one of the best. But the setups from below the goal line to Philip Forsberg on both of these goals, one by Novak, one by Nyquist, and the assist is part of a rebound jam play right there on one of Nyquist's goals. 3 points in total, but 7 shots on goal was a tremendous effort, cleaning up in the slot on the low-high play. And ever since the previous game, you saw Philip Forsberg kind of flip a switch, and the emotion kind of engaged, started bringing a lot more of the jam out there. He is back engaged, and he is back involved in the offense, is back involved in the whole game. And Philip Forsberg truly had a couple of opportunities for the hat-trick, tried to throw the team on his back offensively, and he's done it a number of times, just not able to pull them across the finish line in this one. And I wanted to make this notation. O'Reilly somehow didn't pick up a point in this game, and I was really surprised to see that by the end, because the amount of scoring by the line. So I wanted to make one more positive commentary just about the line itself. Ever since they've been put together, they have clicked. They've had success. These are 3 players that never played anywhere together before, and now are not even on the same team, much less on the same line, and now have been put together. The chemistry has developed. You see Ryan O'Reilly talking about how much fun he's having. It's almost like he's found the fountain of youth. Philip Forsberg is producing at a level that we've only seen him do in his record-breaking season for his career when he scored 40 goals, and he's on pace for 40 goals this season. And Nyquist, like I said, just winning everybody over with the hustle, with the jam, with the just the effort overall. I just wanted to make the notation that after tonight's game, 4 goals for the line. That line now has 40 goals together on the season. 40 goals. Forsberg, O'Reilly, Nyquist, 40 goals, 56 assists, 96 points in 36 games. Highly impressive stuff. Love to see it. I'm glad to see that the Nashville Predators are finally getting some good offensive chemistry from some players that they've brought in. And again, 40 goals and 56 assists for 96 points for the top-line trio of this Nashville Predators team. Wanted to make a notation on Tommy Novak. You know why? He picked up an assist in this game. All he does is make plays. Tommy Novak, absolutely exceptional. Just like Nyquist, it was almost the same exact play. Tommy Novak goes behind the net, wins the battle, takes the puck, and then he goes ahead and moves the puck to Forsberg for the easy finish. But Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays. He picked up an assist. Looks like he's starting to get his game back under him. That's good. Tommy Novak's a little bit slow coming back from the injury. We haven't quite seen the same explosiveness in his game that we had seen, but seems to be starting to trend in that right direction. The captain, Romeo, sometimes you got to laugh. 3rd fight of his career. Let's wait another 5 years before he has the 4th fight of his career. First of all, everybody has to laugh about that. There were barely any punches thrown, but to see the captain Roman Josi engaging with another high-skilled player from the Red Wings in DeBrincat, this was impressive stuff. It's good leadership, but I would prefer to see Roman Josi out there on the ice taking care of putting the Predators on the scoreboard and defending instead of sitting in the penalty box for 5 minutes. But he did take DeBrincat off the rink for 5 minutes. But again, the point is it was a goofy fight. It came in a scrum, and let's wait another 5 years before we see another one that was like that. Now, that's going to do it for the analysis. It's one quick turnaround. We got to get you guys all prepared. We got you set up with the preview. We got you done with the recap. That's the analysis. Let's go through the good, cold, hard numbers of the box score. Let's get this show closed out. Let's get Operation Array 145 in the books, and we'll get it posted, and then we'll get you guys ready for Saturday night. And it's New Year's Eve, by the way. So, Happy New Year. Wherever it is you're traveling, take the show with you, take the podcast with you. We'll keep you caught up on everything. If you've only got a couple of minutes, give us 10 minutes. We'll give you the entire game play-by-play, every goal, every penalty, every big important play. And then we have our analysis, our preview, and all that good stuff. And it's coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast. It's the box score right after we hear from Stripe Digital Solutions. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business. And that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way, from startup to full-time operation. Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back in, your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators in this game. The good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score. Philip Forsberg's got 2, Nyquist has 2, and that is it. On the assist side of things, even more sparse than that. Philip Forsberg's picking up 1. Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays. I'm required now to say that after I say Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays. It's actually part of his full name now. Tommy, all he does is make plays. Novak. Nyquist also picks up an assist, and what a sweet one it was to Philip Forsberg. And Shen picks up an assist. He fired the puck on net. Forsberg jams away at it, and then Nyquist puts that one into the net. So Shen gets rewarded for putting the puck on net. When it comes to shots on goal, nobody was even close to Philip Forsberg with his 7. Michael McCarron does have 5, which is surprising, but McCarron continues to go to net, continues to work hard, continues to jam, and continues to put up some decent statistics. Sissons also had 4 shots on goal in this game. O'Reilly had 3. When it comes to block shots, go on down to the defensive side of things, and you'll see Ryan McDonough leading the team with 3. You'll see Roman Josi with 2. Alex Carrier also had 2 in this game, and that's going to do it for the Nashville Predators on the block shots side of things. In the physical category, of course, we always start with Jeremy Lauzon. 6 hits in this game, far and away led the team and led the game. Other than that, you'll find a trio with 2. You'll find Smith, Sissons, and McCarron, all forwards, with 2 hits. And why don't you add Roman Josi with 2 hits in this game as well? But Lauzon, again, adds to his league-leading hits with 6 more in this game. When it comes to time on ice, leader first night of back-to-backs, you always like to check these and measure how the coach is deploying. Forsberg, 20-31. He was buzzing. He was electric. He picked up 2 goals, assisted 7 shots on goal. 3 other shots missed the net. He was all over the place. Give him the time on ice. He led with 20-31, the only forward over 20 minutes. O'Reilly, 19-34, and considering he got stuck out there for almost all of overtime, it's actually impressive that he didn't end up over 20 minutes. Nyquist at 17-43. First night of back-to-backs, but you want to measure these minutes well, but I can't help but notice Luke Evangelista down at 10-32, Glass at 13-28, and seeing, let's see, what was the other one that jumped out at me? Tomasino at 11-33. Some of the younger players, they've been challenged to step up, and their ice time is, I think, starting to disappear a little bit. That's something we'll track a little bit more. But this is the first night of back-to-backs. That may have also played into it. I may be starting to read into it sooner than necessary, but I want to keep an eye on those ice times, and we'll do that together here on the show. On the defensive side of things, the defenseman that led the team in total time on ice, Ryan McDonough, 26-14. The captain, Roman Josi, 23-13. Because of his fight, he ended up not leading the team in time on ice. 20-54 for Lauzon. On the power play, 309 for Forsberg, 324 Nyquist, 234 for McDonough, and the power play went 0 for 2. As a matter of fact, he gave up a shorthanded goal against and might have had the worst 91 seconds of man advantage hockey that I've ever seen the Nashville Predators play. Probably not. Maybe recency bias right there, but it sure felt like it, you know? It was bad. It was really, really bad. On the penalty kill, 158 shorthanded time on ice, 4 assists, 134 for Trennan, 107 for Nyquist. On the defensive side of things, 3 minutes of shorthanded time on ice for Lazon, 234 for McDonough, 127 for Shen. They were 2 for 2, perfect on the PK, and also generated a shorthanded goal for. So a shorthanded goal against and a shorthanded goal for. Shots on goal for the Preds, 37. They come away with a loss, though. Face-off winning percentage at least up over 50 in this game, 50.8%. 16 hits, 15 block shots, 3 takeaways, and 7 giveaways. Again, on the negative side on that one, the details matter. Make sure you go back and check out that particular rant from the last episode if you didn't get a chance to check it out. That's going to do it. It's the first night of back-to-backs. Got a quick turnaround. It's the 4th back-to-back in the month of December, and the year 2023 is just about to close out. The Nashville Predators have slipped to 5th place, and they have a chance to take 3 out of 4 by going to Washington and beating a team that they should beat. Let's close it out by saying they blew this point. There's no other way to say it. Detroit was even with them perhaps in points, but the Nashville Predators should have been able to come away with this one. UC Saros didn't have his best game. The Preds didn't have their best game, and they blew a third-period lead. It's unfortunate, but they blew 1 point in this one. They still have an opportunity to take 3 out of 4 points in the back-to-back over the weekend. The Caps do not have the statistical metrics to match up against the Nashville Predators if the Predators show up to play tomorrow night. Very much looking forward to seeing Askarov versus Ovechkin. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to get a lot of headlines, and I think that that's going to be where the preview really and the excitement comes from going into this game. But that's going to do it for Operation Number 845. No reason to keep this thing going. You know what's going on with the Central Division. You're all previewed for the Washington Capitals. You're all reviewed when it comes to the previous game that took place in Detroit, and we're closed out now. Look at the set, all cleaned up. Everything's looking good in here. Got brand new hockey t-shirts going. I'll wear a couple of those in studio for the next couple of days because Christmas came and went. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. Hope you're having a fantastic holiday. Hope you're safe wherever it is you're traveling. And we got Happy New Year's coming up. So I'll say it to you now. I'll say it to you again on the next show. Happy New Year. Sure to appreciate everything you guys have done in 2023 to help make this show the success that it's been. Stick taps, love, and respect, my good Renegades. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.